Cyberpunks and retro nerds, welcome back to another edition of Neon Trash. I'm your host, Tommy the Hammer, kicking it with Dale.
Yo.
Kicking it with Bee Cee.
Hello.
Kicking it with Rocket.
Hi.
And we got Hayes on the other end.
What's up?
That's right, motherfuckers, it's a Friday night. It is Bee Cee's pick. What you got in your pants tonight?
Today, I brought this 2017 movie called First Reformed. It's directed and written by Paul Schrader, who did the screenplays to Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, Last Temptation of Christ. And in terms of directing, he's done Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters. So I'd say he's pretty important in terms of like American cinema.
We're gonna kick off the trailer. Peep that shit, motherfuckers. We will be right back.
I decided to keep a journal, to set down all my thoughts and the simple events of my day. I will keep this diary for 1 year, and at the end of that time, it will be destroyed.
I encouraged my son to enlist. It was a family tradition. 6 months later, he was dead in Iraq. I was lost. My son's the reading of the Lord. Praise be God.
So how are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
No, really. It's been a while since we've talked. Even a pastor needs a pastor.
Did you see the doctor? You need someone to take care of you. I want you to be happy.
I know that nothing can change, and I know there is no hope.
Reverend Toller?
Yes, Mary.
You must come over. You must come over now.
Explosives.
She was becoming someone I didn't know.
Opportunistic diseases, anarchy, martial law. You will live to see this.
You had no idea that he was thinking of...
No. I'm so frightened.
These kids, they want certainty. You know, don't think, follow. They fall prey to extremism. It's a world without hope.
No, I have not lost my faith.
You think that what we did together was a sin?
I've seen enough real sin to know the difference.
You didn't tell the police, right?
Take a look at your own life before you criticize others.
These are frightening times. We have to be patient.
Well, somebody has to do something.
Are you washed in the blood, in the soul-cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow?
My hands shake as I write these lines.
Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb?
Can God forgive us for what we've done to this world?
Who can know the mind of God?
So, we just got done watching the movie First Reformed with actor Ethan Hawke. What a torrid movie. This film is dark and kind of suffocating. I feel like the overall narrative to the film is excellent. I feel like the writer did a pitch perfect job. This film really kind of like, you know, grabs you from the beginning and slow burns the entire time, like a uncoiling snake. And, you know, I liked everyone in it. I liked the cinematography. I really liked the lack of music and the sound effects. There was a number of times when we started the movie where we were like, you know, do we have it turned up enough? You don't really see movies about obsession and anger and confusion and ultimately suicide. I feel like this movie tackles that whether you're ready for it or not. And with this film, you know, First Reformed, you know, it's one of those movies where I liked it, I didn't like it, then I liked it, then I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? It was like
definitely seemed to waffle back and forth a lot.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, when, you know, the final credits are rolling, I gotta say, despite it wasn't in the direction I wanted to go into, I like this movie.
One of the things I found that I really enjoyed is the sincerity of all the actors. Like, all of them. They all play their part stellar. Everything from the camera, I mean, you can't even say just one or two things. Tom nailed it on the head. The shots in this movie are breathtaking. I'm even kind of like stumped at this. Hold on. This movie is extremely good. It touches on a lot of even the emotionalism of the regional area it's in northeastern United States. We have the burned out industrial areas, the leftover Rust Belt, the forgotten things. And this touches on that, and it adds to the atmosphere, it adds to the mood. I didn't expect an ending. I didn't expect resolution. I was along for this entire film. I was watching these characters unfold and develop.
Yes.
And I found that to be truly a masterpiece in that respect.
I saw this for the first time at an independent theater in Akron with one of my good friends, and I remember the first time we watched it, we were both speechless. Actually, the whole theater was speechless. We all didn't even know, we didn't feel comfortable talking after the movie because it takes you to places that everyone goes to but no one wants to go to. It's pretty much like the darkest depths of your mind. And I mean, with this writer, director, Paul Schrader, he's done that before with Taxi Driver. And honestly, I think when you watch Taxi Driver and then you watch this, you realize how much of that movie's greatness and why it's a classic is because of who wrote it. He perfectly expresses what an obsessive person goes through, what a radicalized person goes through, and then even what the everyday person, this woman that's pregnant, the people that are just trying to do their job, people that, they're just normal people. And I feel like this director, he never over dramatizes anything. He says it how it is. He keeps it real. That's the best way to put it. And the movie was beautifully shot, but it's weird because the most beautifully shot things in the movie are also some of the most disturbing things. I mean, you see rundown, over-polluted, just destroyed areas of the earth. You see you see so much. The one scene that always sticks out to me is the alcohol and the Pepto-Bismol. Which literally, if you go in with an open mind and actually have some introspective thought about what's going on in the world, I think this will do a lot of good for you. I'm also at a young age, and I'm at that point where people think when you're younger you're at your most liberal, you're probably at your most radicalized, but at the same time, I think the movie's trying to make the point that this shouldn't be a radical issue. Everyone should want to protect the earth at all costs. Everyone should want to have life for as long as they can, and should want life for the people after them. And the fact that that's radical, I think, is what the movie's trying to say is the problem.
If you at least allow yourself to be immersed and go along with it, because the visuals really, the way this was shot really helped with that. Every scene was framed so perfectly. There was always something to either, catch your eye or deflect your eye. This is masterful cinematography. It really, you could try to fight against it and try to look for something other than what the director was trying to show you, but then sometimes I would find myself seeing things that, no, this is actually what he wanted you to see. You think, oh, it's supposed to be this. You mentioned red herrings earlier. Oh, I think this is a red herring. Is it? Was
right.
It? Maybe this was.
I think I was coming from a different angle.
I mean, it was really hard to tell, but that was what was so nice and refreshing about it. As long as you had the ability to just let yourself go and enjoy this ride, because this movie moved at 5 miles an hour.
I mean, it does deal with the whole battle between the whole, yes, there's, morals, there's ethics, there's the care and the love and the hope, but then also there's the radicalism of the science, the facts, the wake up, do something, this is happening. It just touches on all of that, and it was great. Each character was definitely served a purpose. The cinematography, the angles, everything they shot was perfect. I mean, everything stuck out. There were some, in my opinion, some foreshadowing on things, especially with the whole lights that we talked about earlier, when he sat down with her, having that tea.
Sure.
The one light being an eyeball, the other one being just a regular lamp.
And what you
know?
take from that, though, is kind of subjective.
It's very subjective. It's like, and then how it ends is just like, what? Each person can take it their own way.
Yeah.
There's so many options, so many doors. Open your eyes.
And something else, another, it ends on that extra uncomfortable note. Like, it's already made you uncomfortable, you know, talking about, religion and science and the environment and the planet and everything. But then, to end on a note like that, where it's so just anti-Hollywood, it's anti-storytelling, to just leave it up to the viewer. So you're already worked up and like, man, what's gonna happen? We've thought this, we've thought that, we're not sure. And then you're like,
really fit into the mold that maybe I wanted it to, but it's not supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's strange because I actually wanted more to the movie. I don't know if that's the right request. I don't know if my gripe is if it holds water, as it were. But for me, I actually wanted to spend more time with these characters somehow. And there was a point in time during the movie where we're discussing about the segue from one character to, one character's transition into a different mindset. And, we came to the conclusion that it was the death of another character that pushed them over the edge, and I didn't gather that. But that's how movies go.
So you actually wanted more fat in this film.
I did.
Normally we talk about trimming the fat here and there, but we actually needed.
But
and
to
I
be
agree
honest,
with you with that.
Let me just say this
character.
Let me just say this though. Like I've talked about this before on my channel. I feel like when the movie is so good and when everything is aligned perfectly, more time is not a chore. Okay, and maybe working with what A24 means, it had to be a little more mainstream. Maybe they had to. Maybe the editing process. Who knows what the real final result of this movie was for the director? 8.5. Dale, lay it on us.
Nice,
Star count.
Oh man, I will just start off with my count. I will give this guy a 9.5.
Woo!
I really enjoyed this film. Will it be something that I revisit time and time again? Probably not. But it will be a film that I will watch with other people, to show other people.
Yes.
Kind of a scenario. And one of the things I really liked about it was the indirect statements this film made.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. Bee Cee! Do it.
I'll go straight to the star count and then, add a little extra like you did, Dale.
Yeah.
I was actually feeling the same exact thing. I'm going at 9.5. It's really honestly close to perfect. And it's funny I give it a 9.5, but I actually don't know how I could make it better. But the thing is like whether you're even religious or not or believe in God or not, like to me, like there's faith and then just like with faith there's hope. They kind of mean the same thing. So as a non-religious person, you can watch this movie and this movie is about a crisis of faith or a lack of hope. And I feel like everyone in the whole entire world, no matter how they appear on the outside, goes through that at some point. And for this character, it happened to be because of the people around him caring about the environment and getting him to open his eyes and care about it too. And I think it's a relevant issue. And considering, the rate that we're going as people right now, this movie's gonna stay relevant, pretty much for forever as far as I'm concerned. Probably till the end of the earth.
Oh.
So I loved it a lot, and this is one of those movies that like you feel like you gained a level after watching it, and it probably will sit with anyone that watches it for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Rocket.
Even though I agree with you, Tom, in that maybe I could have used a little more fat and used maybe a little bit more of character development to really, solidify his, connection with, his struggle with his faith and this other character's struggle, with his beliefs and his struggle with, the environment. I still have to give this movie a 10 out of 10.
Excellent.
Agreeing with me doesn't... It's indicative to your stars.
Even though I might be able to knock it, cinematography or not the story writing a little bit, like this is still such a profound message.
Like this movie, I'm gonna give it like a little bit of a slow burn. Hit on everything like you guys did.
Yes.
It was just so impactful. All the characters made everything, great. Coulda, yeah, here and there. But it was an all-around good movie. But you got, 8.5, 9.5, 9.5, 10? I'm gonna give it a 5 times 2, so I was on 10!
Oh! Wow,
That was a good movie. Good all around.
Holy shit!
Delved into everything. I liked it.
It's a hell of a piece of cinema.
Yeah, you can always count on Bee Cee for bringing over the old cerebral cinema, the old double C. That's how we roll with Bee Cee. I don't know why I'm doing all these corny fucking